Does that make good sense? Yeah. The secret is for the customer to see our number first, whether the manager sends it in or whether you present it. However your system works in your dealership, they've got to see our number before we hear their number. Mr. Customer, my management's going to make a proposal to you in a minute. I don't say offer, proposal. Let's wait and see what we offer you, what we propose to you, before you tell me what you have in mind. Let's wait and see what my management proposes to you first. Because if you hear their number first, you're bumping them. If they hear my number first, they're bumping me. Mr. Customer, we know you don't want to go back and forth between me and the management. We're not going to play that game with you. We prefer to make the first proposal to you. We've got Mr. James Ziegler on the desk today, a guest manager from Atlanta, Georgia. And when you see Mr. Ziegler's number, sir, I will guarantee you're going to be excited. You'll be jumping up and down when you see Mr. Ziegler's numbers. I had a customer, we don't always get full lists, but we always try to. I had a customer say to me one time, well, what do you think I am, an idiot? I said, well, sir, if you were, I did not want to miss an opportunity. You like that? Because I'm going to start that deal at $650 a month and let the customer work me down instead of starting at their number and letting them work me up. Does this make good sense to you? You don't always get full lists, but we always make a shot at it. And truthfully, there are things that scare car salespeople. Probably the scariest thing we do is when you say, write me a check. You've got to examine your inner workings and be sure you're not afraid to ask for the money. You've got to ask for the money with confidence, and going back to the previous statement, the illusion of expectation. When you present the figures, you never, ever apologize for the figures. Mr. Customer, my management's made us an excellent proposal. I think you're going to like these figures. You go in there with confidence. You go in there with enthusiasm. This is a great deal. Never apologize for it. What are you getting out of today?
Confidence.
Confidence. Why would you not have confidence? Only people that don't have confidence are people that have not studied their trade. When I first got into business 30 years ago, I was just passing through till I could get a respectable job. 30 years ago, all I wanted was a demo. They had them in those days. I was going to get a demo until I could get a good job. And then I found out this was the good job. Then I found out this was the good profession. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I know about me. I'm a high school graduate. My business card says James A. Ziegler, HSG, high school graduate. They can put PhD on theirs, I'll put HSG on mine. And I'm proud of that. Maybe you've got rich parents and maybe you've got an advanced education. I don't. Where can people like us make the kind of potential income that's available to people like us? What kind of a job could you do this without a gun? Think about that. This is a great profession. And if you're wavering and you haven't made a commitment to be in it, you need to rethink that. There's nothing better than what we do. And if you're not the $10,000 a month man or woman in your dealership, what the top salesman in your store make, Kevin? Do you know? 150,000, at least 10,000 a month, 12,000 a month. And somebody else made 1,500 a month. If you're not the $12,000 a month salesperson, why not? Why not? The fear of asking for the money. Self-limiting fears, and we got to get beyond those. Attitude, desire, work ethic, and competency. What piece of the puzzle is missing? It's not about money. Stop qualifying these people. We want to qualify, where do you work? What do you do there? How long have you been there? Where did you buy your last car? Where did you finance your last car? Those are the real questions. A professional salesperson gets a financial picture of who you're dealing with, not what they said they wanted to pay, but what they're able to pay. What's the customer's ability to pay? That's the real qualification. A couple years back, we bought my wife a BMW. And I say we bought my wife a BMW. She's vice president of my company. She makes as much money as I do. My wife is an accountant. I have no ability to count or manage money. I only know how to make a lot of it. I can't leave this woman. I don't know where any of the money is. My wife was an up, later away. When I met my wife, she came in and bought a 1982 Thunderbird Elan, brand new, $12,000 car. I made $3,500 gross. Knocked her out of the ballpark. Then I ended up making every payment myself. Pissed me off. But it happened. We're buying my wife a BMW in Atlanta. And we go to the BMW store and the alleged salesman comes out. So the alleged salesman comes out the BMW store. He says, "Hi, my name's Ronnie." I said, "Ronnie, I'm Jim Ziegler." He said, "Nice to meet you, Mr. Ziegler." I said, "Jim Ziegler." Asshole. Jim Ziegler. He still didn't get it. And this is my wife, Deborah. He said, "Hello." He never shook hands with her. And he continued to talk to me. He said, "What are you looking for, Mr. Ziegler?" I said, "Car's for Mrs. Ziegler. She's looking for a BMW, 540. Now, on the way over there, I asked my wife, I said, "What are we going to go look at?" She said, "BMW." I said, "Well, what model BMW are we going to go look at?" Now, this car is all about the neighbors. Understand that. This car is only about our neighbors in the community. She said, "Well, what does BMW make?" I said, "Well, I'd like you to get a 740 IL. Remember, it's a couple years back, 12-cylinder. I want to get a 740 IL. At the time, that was a $90,000 vehicle. She said, "Well, what's that like?" I said, "Well, it's sort of like your dad's Grand Marquis. It's a full-size car." She says, "Oh, no, I don't want anything that big. I want something smaller like my mother's Maxima." I said, "That would be a 540. So when we get over to the BMW dealership, I told the alleged salesperson, I said, my wife would like to look at 540s. He said, "What's your budget?" My left hand. What's your budget? What a dumbass question that is. And I decided to jack with this man. Now let's face it. Who would be the ultimate jacker that you wouldn't want messing with you? I decided I'm going to jack with this guy. I said, "Oh, we were thinking about $450 a month." Remember, it's a $60,000 vehicle. I said, he said, "That ain't going to buy this car. You need to look at a cheaper car, maybe a 3 Series. I said, "No, tell your manager that we want the gold one here, and we're thinking maybe $450, maybe $460 a month." He came back and he made the most really profound statement I've ever heard a car salesman make. He said, "Mr. Ziegler, my manager said you're in absolutely no danger of taking this car home." Well, we did take the car home, and what's Mickey Mouse's wife's name? Minnie. That was his commission. I made sure that this guy did not make any money on that deal because I was so mad at his unprofessionalism. I was driving this year's model Cadillac. My wife and I probably had $300,000 of jewelry on us between us. We had all the right little animals on our kids' clothes. I mean, he couldn't tell that we could buy the car without asking that stupid question. Look at the people. Where do you work? What do you do there? How long have you been there? Where did you buy your last car? Where did you finance your last car? Learn to get an intelligent financial picture of your customers. The only qualifier is their credit. The only wild card that you really need to find out is their credit, not what they want to pay. It's what they're going to pay based on their ability to pay. Everybody in this room has seen people bump up $100 a month when they wanted the car. Do not try to switch them to a cheaper car prematurely. A consumer is more likely to pay more for a car they want quicker than they'll pay less for one they don't want. Do you agree with that? Has anybody ever tried to switch a customer to a cheaper car and they didn't take it, and then you found out later they bought what you had? You boxed them into a corner. They couldn't get out of it. Very important that you get the customers tuned in to what they can afford, not to what they want to pay.